Now, the ideal time to plant garlic is about 2 weeks before your first frost. Now, we're well past that here at New Southern Garden, but I still think we can get a crop. If you plant it early enough, you'll be able to get huge bulb development by the time you harvest in the spring. But I have these empty raised beds and I want to fill them up. The first thing we want to think about when we're planting garlic is how far apart do we space them and how deep do we plant them. We're going to space them 4 inches apart, but only plant them half of that, which is 2 inches deep. So I'm going to start right on the edge of my raised bed here, spacing them out about 4 inches apart. I may go about 5 or so. And once we have them spaced about 4 inches apart, we're going to plant them 2 inches deep. And once you have your garlic all lined up in cute little rows, spaced about 4 inches apart on a nice grid, you just simply have to push this clove down 2 inches or so and cover it up. Now you could dig a little hole that's 2 inches deep and bury the garlic that way. But if your soil is loamy enough, if it's high in organic matter, then all you really have to do is push it down. And garlic really does like an earthy, high organic compost to grow in. That's exactly what we have in these beds. It needs to be able to drain freely, but hold on to moisture once these cloves start to generate roots, and of course some fertility. But really, if it drains well and is high and rich in organic matter, then you're going to have some wonderful garlic. Now, as far as caring for your garlic goes, you can water them in the day you plant them. Most of the time, you won't really have to water them over winter, but you can fertilize them when you plant them with a well-balanced fertilizer of your choice. Be sure it has nitrogen, phosphorus, and some kind of potassium there. Bone meal is a really good product to use once your garlic plants start emerging from the ground. It's got plenty of nitrogen, and that's going to encourage great bulb development. So planting garlic is really simple, but you do want to make sure before you buy your cloves that you are growing the right variety or the right kind for your location. Of course, we do have some garlics which are hard necks and which are soft necks, and usually in the South, the soft necks is going to grow better. Can you just go to the grocery store and pick off the shelf? Sometimes you don't really know where that came from. A lot of garlic comes out of China and California, and those varieties may or may not be great for your location. But if you come across a local farmer's market who's been growing a certain variety in your region, you can surely pull those garlics off of the shelf, take the cloves apart, and plant those directly in your landscape. If once you harvest these in the spring, you save your largest cloves, you can reuse those every single year, saving some cloves for planting and maybe using the smaller cloves in your kitchen. You can continue to grow garlic for years to come. It's that easy. So thanks for joining me on New Southern Garden today, where I hope I've encouraged you to grow some garlic year after year in your own vegetable garden. Be sure to check out the New Southern Garden podcast at newsoutherngarden.com and wherever you find your favorite podcasts. And of course, we're on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube now. So stay well and grow well. We'll see you next time.